Have you ever locked eyes with someone in public and immediately thought, nope, not today? And then suddenly your phone became the most fascinating object on earth. Let's talk about the most awkward human behavior, pretending that you didn't see someone in public. Not an ex, not a stranger, somebody you actually know. And what's kind of wild is how fast your body reacts before your brain can even catch up. Today, we're unpacking why this happens and three things you can do so these moments don't feel quite so awkward. Hi, and welcome to another week of Fuggabrat. I'm your host, Shelbi Fox. What's actually happening in your brain? Here's the thing that most people kind of get wrong. It's not about being rude. It's more about self protection. Your brain is constantly scanning for social cues, social interactions. It's constantly on high alert. Meaning, is this interaction going to drain me? Is this interaction going to expose me or put me in a position that I just simply don't want to be in right now? So when you spot someone unexpectedly, your brain has milliseconds to decide engage or escape. Engage, yes. Escape, yes. If there's unresolved history or maybe some unclear dynamics, emotional weight, or even just maybe some low energy capacity, your nervous system often chooses avoidance before logic. That's why it feels automatic because it actually is. May not be logical, but it is automatic. This is the same system that helps you dodge danger, except now the danger is small talk, it's emotions, it's pretending everything's just fine. So no, you're not being cold. It's more of survival, and it's not even being polite. So why does it feel so awkward after it happens? Great question, right? What messes with people isn't the avoidance part itself, it's more of the meaning that we assign to it afterward. So we replay it over and over in our mind. Did they see me? Do they think I'm fake? Should I have said something? Was that rude? Your brain hates these unresolved social moments, so it wants and needs closure. But public encounters rarely give you that. Instead, your mind fills in all these gaps with self judgment and kind of spirals slightly out of control. Now, most people are too busy managing their own internal panic to analyze yours, and that is a fact. My two words that I like saying most is nobody cares, because unless it directly affects you, nobody cares. People are really too busy analyzing their own internal panic to even notice that you are panicking. They're not thinking about you as much as your brain conceives that they are. Now, there are different reasons why people avoid, and not all avoidance is actually the same. So sometimes you avoid because it's emotional fatigue. They're going to take so much out of you by stopping and having a conversation that you decide not to do it. Sometimes it's about protecting your own boundaries, meaning that you just don't really want to go there with them. You don't really want to hear what they have to say, and you already know that they pretty much don't want to hear what you have to say. Sometimes it can be like, I just really don't have the capacity to deal with this right now. You're at the grocery store. Maybe you've had a long day and you just don't want to. It doesn't matter why. It's just when you feel like you just don't have the capacity to go through with it right now. Sometimes it's just like you know each other, but there's really no relationship between you. They're just basic interactions. And sometimes that can be surprisingly draining because they require a little bit of a performance without any sort of connection with each other. So your brain kind of registers that mismatch as you're kind of opting out in a way, I guess. I'm going to give you some things that you can choose to do differently. Let's just go with three things. Number one, I want you to really look at this and not to force yourself to engage, but to kind of stop the spiral around the engaging. So, kind of like to yourself, name the real reason silently. Instead of shaming yourself, just put a little label on it. I didn't ignore them because I'm being rude. I avoided them because I'm blank. So, an example would be I avoided them because I'm tired. I avoided them because that relationship feels unresolved. I avoided because I didn't want to perform like a circus monkey. When you actually name the truth, then your nervous system kind of settles down and the clarity that you receive often will reduce the guilt that you kind of feel afterwards. So, number two, release this fantasy of this perfect response. There is no ideal way to handle surprise encounters. You can practice and practice and practice, but when it actually happens, because it is a surprise, there is no universally correct way to speak. So your brain keeps searching for this perfect response so it can feel safe retroactively. So what you really need to do is just let it go. Just let it go. Your brain will keep searching and searching and searching and searching, but you really just need to let it go. You made a choice in a neutral moment. That's it. A neutral moment. You made a choice quickly. You're in, you're out. Let it go. Number three, practice these, what I like to call low stakes humanity. This one's for next time. Instead of maybe full avoidance or full engagement. So, in other words, instead of looking at your phone or engaging by, hi, how are you? Allow a small acknowledgement. So, in other words, a small acknowledgement would be like a wave, a smile, maybe a head nod, maybe a hey, without stopping and actually having a full blown conversation. This kind of tells your nervous system, like, I can acknowledge things without actually committing. It's saying, yes, I see you. Yes, I have acknowledged you. But no, we don't need a full conversation. And I'm not going to feel bad about it. So your brain is actually feeling good that you said something like, hey, hey, and then you keep walking instead of looking at your phone and being like, oh my gosh, I have a text message that's really not there on my phone and fumbling around. You laugh because you know it's true. I want to kind of give you the bigger picture here. We live in this world of constant visibility with very, very, very little consent. With social media, overlapping circles and people in your 1 mile radius around your home and around your work. And if you have children around them, and if you have friends and husbands and wives, all these overlapping circles. And yet we're expected to be emotionally available on demand, which is not how we are made. It's simply not something that we can do 100% of the time. Pretending you didn't see someone isn't a bad thing. It's not that you're failing at life. It's nothing like that. It's more of a negotiation that's happening in real time. So it's a negotiation with yourself. You're like, do you pretend not to see them and you fiddle with your phone or look at something else or look the other way completely, pick up that magazine when you're in the grocery aisle, checkout lane, what do you do? Or do you just give a nod, a smile, a wave, a hey, how's it going? Either way, It's not wrong. You need to understand it is not wrong. Half of the time, the other person is thinking the same thing as you, maybe even more than half of the time. The more that you understand, the less charged these particular moments become. If you've ever walked past someone pretending your phone was important and you just got this emergency text, or pretending that the floor was so fascinating you had to look at it, or that magazine in that aisle was calling your name, that just means you're human. Either you acknowledge or you don't. It's that second of decision that means everything. So next time, try a wave, try a smile, try a nod, or maybe just look at the floor. It doesn't really matter because nobody's thinking as harshly about yourself as you. And trust me, that person is not thinking about you. They're thinking about their own reactions because they happen to come into that same space as you. If you want more thoughts like this, maybe if it made you think a little bit, share it with someone who's definitely pretending to check their phone when they're in the grocery store. Follow for more. I'm Shelby Fox. Remember, where you are is where it's at.